Do you hear that, my movie compatriots? I think it's that time of the year. Popcorn bucket tier list time, baby! That's right. Your boy got a popcorn machine so we can all pop together. Oh, one fell. But that is right, my movie patriots. The year 2024 has come to a close, and we can look forward for the lovely popcorn buckets releasing in 2025. But before we get there, we do have to honor the buckets that came before us, so that's exactly what I'll be doing here for you in this video, as I've collected as many popcorn buckets that released in the year 2024. I'll be displaying them, showing them off to you, while also giving you my tier list ranking that you can also participate in the description down below. I'd love to see where you think some of these popcorn buckets rank and how you agree or disagree with me. As you can see, the studio right now is pretty filled with buckets. And man, honestly, let me tell you, 2024 was an insane year. I was ahead of the game, baby, making popcorn bucket tier lists back in 2023, because it was officially in the year 2024 that they just skyrocketed and went crazy. So many buckets, I wasn't even able to get all of them. And I got about 90% of them behind me. So right before we begin, how about we honor the previous winners of the last 2 years? There is no tier list ranking for the year 2022, but you can bet this is where it all started for me. The popcorn bucket mask from the Batman. I walked in to an AMC one day, saw they were selling it, picked it up, and well, probably biggest mistake of my life, because I got addicted, baby. Still a fantastic bucket, and well, they have a total of 5 years to top this with the Batman Part 2 comes out. And well, the winner of 2023, kind of a controversial choice, but I stand by it, the popcorn bucket from Blue Beetle. Insane how much they went all out for this popcorn bucket, a movie that slightly underperformed for them, but I not only enjoyed that movie, I love this popcorn bucket. I still feel like Jaime Reyes every time I put it on. And now you know where our standards are going into who will win 2024. Now, I actually wanted to start off and do this a little differently. While I'm still going to give you a tier list ranking and give every bucket its own time to shine, we had so many popcorn buckets come out this year, I actually created categories and want to award separate buckets for those categories. Kicking things off, popcorn buckets for movies that got re-released in the year 2024. Usually we get popcorn buckets for newer movies that are coming out, but in 2024, we had movies that went back to theaters and had popcorn buckets that came along with it. That includes Chucky with the re-release of Bride of Chucky in Cinemark. Have some writing on the back. Cinemark is getting clever with these horror popcorn buckets. They know horror fans want them, and I'm happy we got some Chucky head. It Chapter 1 got re-released as well, and we got a Pennywise popcorn bucket, pretty detailed, again releasing from Cinemark. These horror heads pair extremely well with the other Cinemark horror heads that got released for Scream 6 and Saw X. Kind of makes you wonder what people will get horror heads in the year 2025 from Cinemark. Then for celebrating the 80th anniversary for the Batman, we got this popcorn bucket that is the bat signal that lights up and opens up where you can put your popcorn. Now, funny enough, I loved this bucket so much, I ended up buying a second one that is actually right over there, because I decided to drill a hole in the back and buy an LED light so it can be a permanent fixture and not run out of batteries like this one did after 3 days of being on. But 2 more on the list I wasn't able to get my hands on because it was that tough. We had the re-release of Star Wars Phantom Menace, where we had an R2-D2 popcorn bucket that was actually a combo that carried both drinks and popcorn. I love when they managed to do that, and I would have sought this thing out like crazy if I was a big Star Wars fan, but this one escaped me this year. The other re-release was for A Nightmare Before Christmas, where you could get Jack Skellington's glowing head. Another one I wasn't able to get my hands on. Looking at these contenders, I think the winner for re-release popcorn bucket is the Batman Signal popcorn bucket. I bought 2 of them, baby. That should let you know how much I like this popcorn bucket. Next category, best head popcorn bucket. That seems to be the most generic, easy popcorn bucket to make, is just the head shape of whatever the movie's main character is. The head pull popcorn bucket, the Cinemark Alien Romulus popcorn bucket, the Venom 3 head popcorn bucket, Wolverine's head from Deadpool and Wolverine, and the 5th one to complete the category I wasn't able to get my hands on, but I do think it is worthy of this category, Anger's flaming head from Inside Out 2. And the winner for best head in the popcorn bucket category goes to Venom: The Last Dance. This is just, come on, a great bucket, super detailed. I'm not gonna lie, the Alien Romulus was a close winner, but I just usually hate this category because it's the laziest popcorn bucket you can make, but these were definitely some of the best ones we've gotten in a while. Next category I came up with is most unique popcorn bucket of 2024. First off, we have here the Coliseum from Gladiator 2. What makes it unique is its use of AR technology that you can scan with your phone and watch little gladiator people fight each other. Next unique popcorn bucket comes from Moana 2. What makes it unique? It's actually not even a popcorn bucket. This is a nacho boat. That's right, baby. First of its kind. You slide this open and you have a compartment where you can then fill it up with your cheese and chips of choice and enjoy Moana 2 as you snack on some nachos. I have never seen anything like this. It deserves to go in the unique category. Next up on the list, the Lord of the Rings Warhammer bucket. I mean, come on, man. Do I even have to explain why this one is unique? It's a freaking hammer that also doubles as a popcorn bucket. Or you could hide whatever you'd like in there. Next on the list, we have the Despicable Me Baby Carry-On Popcorn Bucket. This is just so creative and unique for its movie. Gru has a new baby, so they gave you a chance to carry your popcorn like it's a baby. You usually use the popcorn you get in the theater, but I use my Batman tin, where I usually eat my popcorn out of at home. And look at that, that's just like cool, man. You can walk around and here, in fact. Hey, what's going on in here? The baby's crying. And the last unique popcorn bucket on the list, the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire Ghost Trap. I mainly found this unique for the idea of how they put the popcorn in it, using the space that is usually just the light and having that be where you fill the popcorn bucket, but also you can just remove it and then actually use this as a good Ghostbuster prop because the build quality on this is way better than it needs to be for a popcorn bucket. But now, with these out of the way, the winner for most unique popcorn bucket of 2024, I'm giving it to the Lord of the Ring hammer. The Ghostbuster one almost won it for me. It definitely did, but you could look at that and know it's a popcorn bucket. You can't look at this and know it's a popcorn bucket. The nacho boat is also close, but maybe disqualified because it's not even a popcorn bucket. Am I making the rules up as I go along? Of course, but this is what you get from a man who collects popcorn buckets. Next category I have here is for popcorn bucket that was better than the movie it was made for. First nominee goes to the Claptrap popcorn bucket from Borderlands. They spent all their money on the popcorn bucket, I bet. Because why is the build of it so nice? The arms are fully posable and adjustable. It lights up. This is one of those situations where if you're a big Borderlands fan, you buy this as a collectible in your room. The Venom 3 popcorn bucket. Don't even have to explain how this is better than the movie. Yeah, I said it. The popcorn bucket for Mufasa of Pride Rock. If you just want to honor the death of Mufasa, do it with some popcorn. The Ghostbusters vehicle from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It even lights up. Oh, that's cool. And the last nominee for popcorn bucket that was better than the movie, the sleigh from Red 1. Because out of all the movies this year, why did the red one need a popcorn bucket that was also Santa's sleigh? Pretty detailed. More detailed than the movie was. And well, the winner for popcorn bucket that was better than the movie it was made for, you already know the answer. Claptrap from Borderlands. Come on now, like, I don't ever think we'll ever get such a huge discrepancy from movie to popcorn bucket. This is kind of wild. We actually got this for the movie. And the final category, before we go into tier list ranking every popcorn bucket, it's a big one. Which movie had the best collection of popcorn buckets? What I mean by this is sometimes there's a movie so big, it gets multiple popcorn buckets. And putting them all together, which one had a consistently great after great popcorn bucket for its movie? The first nomination goes to Alien Romulus that had a total of 4 popcorn buckets. Another big one was Deadpool and Wolverine that went all out with its popcorn buckets. Next contender is Moana 2. Probably the only place Disney actually put some marketing effort in. Next movie with a collection of popcorn buckets is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Sony must know Ghostbuster fans collect a lot of things from this franchise. And the final movie on the nomination list goes to Beetlejuice, a movie I was kind of surprised got that many popcorn buckets. Oh, this is gonna be a tough category, and you probably already have your picks and chooses of who wins, who should lose, and well, your boy is gonna give it to Deadpool and Wolverine. Not only did they have the most popcorn buckets to give you, but every single one of those buckets, I would say, is pretty detailed and unique to the movie, especially that Wolverine mouth, baby. Don't knock it till you try it. But although the category and awards are done there, we still have to go and give each popcorn bucket a spot on this tier list, and a lot of these we haven't even gotten to show you. So let's kick things off, starting off from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. The first popcorn bucket we were given in 2024 is The Burn Book from the Mean Girls musical. I decided not to go and get it because I had no interest in the movie or the popcorn bucket itself, but I will admit I think that is a pretty cool bucket and one that goes well with the movie. I think C rank. The next popcorn bucket we were gifted is the one that changed the trajectory for all of 2024, the Dune 2 popcorn bucket. I still remember the moment I first laid my eyes on this popcorn bucket, and your boy was the one who did show it off to the world. I ended up on news stations, getting tagged on all these other accounts. This bucket got so big it even got its own SNL sketch. The buzz from this bucket was so big that a good majority of the rest of the buckets we have here would not exist if it were not for the Dune 2 popcorn bucket. And for that impact alone, my friends, this deserves the S rank. Kung Fu Panda 4 did have a movie and a popcorn bucket of Po just holding a pot. I feel like this was honestly kind of lazy. To me, this belongs in the D rank, and this is also where I want to remind you, just because I didn't love the popcorn bucket doesn't have anything to do with the movie. That is the hardest part about ranking this, is sometimes we have to put the movie aside and not just put something on the S rank because it's a Sonic bucket. I like Sonic, so that goes number one. That's not how it works in popcorn bucket land. From there, we got the release of the Ghostbusters popcorn buckets. I already talked about how much I love this Ghost Trap popcorn bucket, how well built it is, the fact that you can put on and off the compartment that holds the popcorn. These have an extra little bonus to them when they're more of a collectible than they are something that holds food. S rank for the Ghost Trap. Moving on to the AMC Slimer popcorn bucket that they had to stop selling because of false advertising. AMC was putting up pre-orders for a Slimer popcorn bucket where this was the photo promising what you would get, and it was completely different once you got it in the mail. Only a handful of Ghostbuster fans, including myself, got a hold of it before they stopped selling it because it looked nothing like the photo, and for that reason alone, it goes in D rank. Bringing us to the Cinemark Slimer popcorn bucket. And while I love the translucent look and the actual detail on Slimer's behind, I do think it was kind of a choice to add the Cinemark logo on the front of the bucket instead of maybe the logo of the movie itself. You guys know Cinemark is my favorite theater of choice, and this was maybe them just promoting their own chain. So while still nice, I'm gonna give it a B rank for now. For the Ghostbusters Ecto 1, this probably would have gone up there on the A rank if this wasn't already just a repurposed popcorn bucket from when Ghostbusters Afterlife came out, except that one was just all rusted up, and now this one is all polished up. And I think that does knock it down a few points, because we want inventiveness with our buckets, not just recycling old buckets. If the next popcorn bucket on the list, maybe I needed to make a category for most unnecessary popcorn buckets of this year, because if maybe would have won the cake on that one, I just, again, have no feeling when I look at this. It's just the main character where you can insert popcorn on the back, nothing that creative. I'm gonna give it D rank. The Garfield movie, probably another forgettable movie that came out this year. We have one of him also holding some popcorn, eating it up. This is becoming a new category of popcorn buckets, is the character holding the popcorn. And well, it's cute, innocent enough, better than the movie itself, honestly, so B rank. Next up was just baby Garfield with its big old eyes that you can wear and put popcorn in. D rank. Inside Out 2, another big Disney movie that actually had some cool, unique buckets I wish I was able to grab. First off, we have this core memory bucket that lights up, and I just think that's cool in and of itself. It also holds your drink right in the middle, and you can get any one of your favorite Inside Out characters to be on top of it. I like that. B rank. Moving on to the Anger popcorn bucket I mentioned. Not a big fan of the head popcorn buckets, but this one makes sense. With Anger's flaming head, it lighting up, it's a nice touch, so yeah. Popcorn bucket. Despicable Me then got a handful of buckets that got released. We have this minion that turned into a giant rock. Okay, I think that's fine. Nothing really that cool to me, so C rank. However, then we have one of a minion where his eyes light up. And well, the light up always gets an added bonus, so B rank for me. Just like I'm also going to give B rank to the baby Carry-On popcorn bucket, because I just can't get over how cool that is. One day I'm gonna put my real baby in that thing. Getting on to the Deadpool popcorn buckets that got released. We have here Headpool. Now, the thing that I think that sucks about a lot of these Deadpool popcorn buckets is some of these characters got popcorn buckets, but they didn't have the biggest impact in the movie itself. I am gonna go A rank though for the Headpool, because if you actually feel this thing and look at the details, a lot of thought went into this popcorn bucket, and plus it has the little spinning top with a stand that mimics its floating head. They didn't need to add that stuff, but it's those touches I like. Next, we got the infamous Wolvusy that came out this year, all thanks to Dune 2. This bucket would not exist without it. And I am still in shock that Disney is the one who approved something like this to happen, and that it got sold everywhere, and that most likely someone out there put their ding-a-ling in it. And well, for that man or woman, we give you an S rank. The Wolverine mask popcorn bucket. Like I said, I usually hate just regular head old popcorn buckets. I think they're the laziest form of a popcorn bucket, but what this one actually symbolized, Hugh Jackman finally getting to wear his mask. After over, 2 decades of playing a character, this bucket marked an achievement for a lot of people. And for that reason alone, I think it deserves to at least go up to B rank. But the Deadpool head, I mean, we did the exact same thing when Deadpool 2 came out. I bet you there was one when Deadpool 1 was out, so D rank. Deadpool on Dopender's Taxi. A moment from the movies that doesn't exist in Deadpool and Wolverine. Feels more like a carryover popcorn bucket from the previous Deadpool movie. It is nice to have a vehicle, but because it actually doesn't happen in the movie, makes it a little less cool to me. So I'm gonna give this a C rank. And the final Deadpool and Wolverine bucket that I was not expecting at all, Baby Deadpool, that is both a combo popcorn and drink bucket. I really do think this is an awesome combination with a lot of details, and if you feel this thing, you can see that they actually took some time to make it. I just again hate that this is a popcorn bucket for a character that was on screen for like less than a second. If maybe Baby Deadpool did more in the movie, I would have more an attachment to this bucket, but it's still awesome nonetheless, so it gets A rank. Moving on from there, we got the Borderland popcorn bucket of Claptrap. Still such an unbelievably great popcorn bucket for a movie that was nowhere near as good. Some assembling was required. It lights up, made of metal, opposable hands. More bad movies should have great popcorn buckets like this. S rank. Bringing us to the Alien Romulus popcorn buckets we got, starting off with the Weyland containment unit that is supposed to hold a facehugger. This one took me by surprise. I really thought the Xenomorph head was gonna be my favorite popcorn bucket from this movie, but oh, I just love the glow of this, the facehugger on the side, the presentation of it all. S rank, baby. The tin popcorn bucket. Usually tins do not get put on my bucket tier list because they're tins. We despise tins here. Only unique buckets here. But the face hugger was a nice added touch that made it different enough for me to put it on the list. I do, however, just hate how complicated they made the face hugger attached to the tin, and how it's a real pain in the butt to take that face hugger off and use it as a collectible on your own. And for that, it gets the C rank. Then we got one of the 2 Xenomorph heads, this one from Regal, where, yes, it has a stand. They even decided to color in the teeth white and give it the little touch of the extra little Xenomorph mouth, but they forgot to add all the other detail in the other areas of this head, making it look pretty nasty if you cover up the front side. Don't pair this up with the Wolvusy or the Venusi, because you might get arrested. Little bit more detail on this bucket could have saved it for me, but I'm gonna give it a C rank. Then getting to the Cinemark version of the Alien Romulus head. Now, diehard Alien fans will tell you, this model is actually from Alien Covenant, so it shouldn't be an Alien. Shut your mouth. You shut your mouth because this is awesome. You have a handle so you can hold it like you're a warrior fighting a Xenomorph. Plus, the detail is impeccable. Like, yeah, this gets an A rank for me. Moving on to the Beetlejuice popcorn buckets that got released, starting off with the Sandworm. Once I knew we had the Dune 2 popcorn bucket and what they did with their Sandworm, I was very afraid for what Beetlejuice would be doing with his Sandworm, and they did the correct thing. They just looped it around like a snake, had the Sandworm pop out, and it's a pretty nice looking bucket without being nasty. Then we got the Beetlejuice Tombstone that does not hold a lot of popcorn. In fact, you're gonna get like 2 or 3 bites out of this thing. It does, however, light up. My battery is dead though. And the collectability aspect of it is cool. B rank. Then we got this square Cinemark tin that lights up with a little Beetlejuice on the front. Maybe my heart is cold right now, but just not a fan of this bucket, and for that, it's getting the D rank. The final Beetlejuice popcorn bucket, the book for the recently deceased. I right now am still liking these book tins. They're simple, straightforward, they remind you of the movie, or you can do what Adam Sandler would say.
A lot of people don't realize this, but you can put your weed in there.
I don't do that myself, but the comments I've got about that, just thought I'd mention it. The Transformers 1 popcorn buckets. All Transformer fans, it was kind of a sad year for us. Our movie did not perform the way we wanted, but worse yet, we were promised a popcorn bucket that did not get released. I have not forgotten when in CinemaCon, the company who makes a lot of these popcorn buckets, we saw a sneak peek look of what looked like an actual transformable popcorn bucket of Optimus Prime. And when the time came, the bucket was never released. Instead, we got two Optimus Prime heads, one of Bumblebee and one of Optimus Prime. We actually got very similar popcorn buckets like this already, and as you've heard me say, not a big fan of the head buckets, so D rank for both of them. We did get this combo one that I thought was kind of interesting. You can put your drink in the lower body part of this Optimus and have popcorn in the head, working as a 2-in-1. I think that makes it slightly unique. I will say though, however, this one feels extremely cheap, so that kind of sucks. Plus, I don't like the specific design that they chose in this C rank. What a disappointment, man. Transformer buckets last year were killing it. You remember that 2-in-1 Optimus Prime truck? I loved that thing. Still do. Next up, we got the Venom popcorn buckets. One, we have, again, why do we do this? Just a terrible shape head. Makes it worse that it comes from Cinemark because I love that theater chain, but it's nothing special. So D rank for me. And well, Regal decided to take up the challenge of what would be a really cool head popcorn bucket, and this one very detailed, mouth open, tongue out, spiky teeth. This is a cool bucket you put off to the side or you hang on your wall like some people have done. Way better than the movie itself. To me, this gets an S rank. Then we have the popcorn buckets for Red 1. We had a snow globe popcorn bucket that came with its own remote, so you could from afar turn it on or off with red and green lights as you fill it up with popcorn. One of the most unnecessary things to do this year, but hey, we'll take it. If it was just a snow globe that turned on and off with a switch on it, it'd probably be C rank, but the fact that it comes with its own remote, that gets a B. Popcorn buckets have freaking remotes now, guys. Santa Sleigh from Red 1. I still don't know why we have Red 1 popcorn buckets, but it exists. It is here. It's super detailed, but I admittedly feel nothing when I look at it, so C rank. This one, I'm kind of cheating, but it was a big movie this year. I had to make it a double. The popcorn bucket for Wicked that you could buy with Elphaba's hat that was also a drink carrier. I wasn't able to get my hands on these because I was very late to the Wicked game, but after enjoying the movie, I kind of wish I would have snagged both of these, because I do think the design on the Cube popcorn bucket is cool, and come on, a freaking witch hat that is also the drink carrier? Yeah. That deserves B rank. The Gladiator 2 popcorn bucket, a bucket that would have ended up on the D rank if it was just the Coliseum itself. Smart but lazy, so they added an extra thing of AR technology that, let's admit, is cool when you use it one time, and I'll probably never do it again after this video, but it is enough to where it bumps it up to B rank. And the Gladiator Maximus, or as some of you will say, MF Doom popcorn bucket head. I love that this is both a popcorn bucket head that opens on and off that you can use with a tin, but also the entire helmet comes off itself. And if your head is small enough, because you got a pea little brain, that's right, this fits you. You got small brain, boy. Me? No, big brain. Big old brain. Don't fit on my head, because I smart. That's what I'm telling myself. Probably would be S rank if it actually fit me, but for now, it's just A rank. Pretty cool bucket though. Getting on to the Moana 2 popcorn buckets, we have Moana Touching the Ocean. I think I am putting this on the C rank because it feels like a bucket that is a carryover from the first movie. It would have felt more like the second film if they added her sister along with the bucket, because that scene does happen in the movie. Next up, this nice display of a wave forming in the middle where you can hold your popcorn and Moana all surrounding it. I actually think this is a great display piece, and if I was more into Moana, I think I'd be crazy about this thing. So I'm gonna put this in the the B rank. Good job there, Cinemark. A Moana bucket I wasn't able to get my hands on, but when I see people using it in videos, I wish I could have found it. And it's the necklace Moana wears, but a lot larger, and it holds popcorn. I actually think this is really nice looking, so I'm gonna bump this up to A rank. And of course, the nacho boat. Again, who would have thought we are creating things? What's next? A hot dog popcorn bucket? Somebody get on that. But its uniqueness with that alone deserves it to go up to A rank, because who else is making popcorn buckets for nachos? Bringing me to the Lord of the Rings Warhammer popcorn bucket. I still think this thing is so awesome, and maybe it's because I had already seen Sonic 3 and the post-credits scene in that movie. We need to bring this one back for Sonic 4. If you know, you know. But the first ever bucket that doubles as a hammer, that is that huge, that is just awesome. That definitely deserves to be S rank for me. The Sonic 3 popcorn buckets, man, I'm so pissed. Mexico got better popcorn buckets than we did. In Mexico, they got themselves Sonic getting ready to run, where you can place popcorn in him. Just that pose and bucket alone, I think would have been a great collectible, but we did not get that. We instead were given this Sonic head, and you already know how I feel about some popcorn head. D rank, boy. And well, Sonic holding the popcorn, I'm gonna give it a bit of a bump because I like the shoes Sonic is wearing and how detailed they put that part of the character. That's just kind of cool since I own those shoes as well. B rank. Mufasa on Pride Rock. Not gonna lie, pretty cool popcorn bucket for the live action Lion King movie. I do just hate how stiff and dead Mufasa himself looks on the bucket. Yeah, I know this is a prequel movie, so it wouldn't have made sense, but I kind of would have liked to see Rafiki holding little Simba on there, because Mufasa there just looks so sad. But it is still cool, so B rank. Bringing me to one of the last popcorn buckets before we crown the winner of 2024, the Nosferatu popcorn bucket. This was the horniest movie of 2024, and they did not give us a nasty popcorn bucket. How could you do that, Nosferatu? But talk about a movie you don't expect to get a popcorn bucket, yet it got one. I love unexpected movies that receive a bucket, and the coffin of Nosferatu himself, made out of a nice tin. Looking inside, you even have the rats that are part of the movie. It's also a really big, decent size. I'm just kind of excited that a movie this serious and well-made got a bucket. A rank. But now that you have seen my ranking here, it is time to go to the highest tier, put those buckets in front of you, and only crown one the winner of 2024. And here we have our finalists that made it to the S rank for 2024 popcorn buckets. We did not have this many last year. This is a tough choice because 2024 came out swinging. Who knows if 2025 is going to be just as difficult? And although I think a lot of you will not be happy with the decision I'm about to make, it is the only right decision, and you know it in your heart of hearts. The winner for the best popcorn bucket of 2024 is the Dune 2 popcorn bucket. I know you're thinking, Chris, there's so many other inventive, cooler, more detailed, light up buckets. Why would you give it to Dune 2? For the reason I said, my friend. Without the Dune 2 popcorn bucket, more than half of these buckets would not exist. The impact this thing had on the year and for the next couple of years for popcorn buckets is unmatched. Who knew making something look like a booty hole that people wanted to stick their dinglings in would be such a big thing in the movie community? But that is my final decision. It has been a glorious year of collecting popcorn buckets. Hopefully you come back for 2025, unless the popcorn bucket game is dead. Please leave a like and share this video if you enjoyed it. I'm gonna go put some popcorn, extra butter, hold the popcorn, and no one's gonna stop me. Let's go in there.